When we get to the eating of the meal, we know that there were these three elements that would have been in front of Jesus and his disciples: the Passover lamb, the unleavened bread, and the bitter herbs. The unleavened bread represents the haste in which the people of God had to leave Egypt, and so there was no time for the bread to rise. The bitter herbs represents the bitter affliction that they suffered as slaves in Egypt at the time, and the Passover, the lamb representing the Passover lamb, the sacrifice by which people would be spared from the judgment of God when they painted the blood of the lamb on the doorpost of their houses. Those are the three elements. Let's pick up where we left off in Matthew's account of the Last Supper again. So Matthew 26, verses 26. And we read, Now as they were eating, Jesus took bread, and after blessing it, broke it, and gave it to the disciples and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." Now, we're really familiar, I suppose, with those words from the act of Holy Communion that we do as a church. But I want you to really think about how the disciples would have experienced that moment. They would have been obeying the Passover celebration for years, and they would have had the elements of the unleavened bread for sure in front of them at every moment. And Jesus is taking a tradition at that point in his life, 1,500 years old tradition, and saying, now this bread that people had participated in for years, now this bread, he's saying, is my body. And it's a bread that is unleavened bread, and it's without yeast, and yeast in the scriptures is also referred to as sin. And so his body being unblemished by sin, Jesus saying, no guys, this is my body given for you. So Jesus is taking these sacred symbols intricately connected to the Exodus from Egypt, and now interpreting them in light of his upcoming death, his body that would be broken for them.